Exactly 1 week from today, voters in Aurora will decide who will lead the city for the next 4 years. Incumbent Mayor Richard Irvin facing City Councilman John Laesch. Political reporter Chris Dye sat down with the two men vying for leadership in Illinois' second largest city.
Aurora is known as the City of Lights. And when you sit down with the two candidates for mayor here, one thing is illuminated quite clearly. There's no love lost between them.
He has no knowledge of the inner workings of government.
The mayor is involved in numerous pay-to-play schemes.
As far as I know, is an unemployed carpenter.
A master of deception.
He's a disruptor. You know, he thinks that he's got to stop everything that's good about Aurora.
There's very little civility in City Hall.
The two men vying to run City Hall, two-term incumbent Richard Irvin, a native of Aurora who served in the Gulf War, who ran unsuccessfully for governor as a Republican last cycle, considered the moderate. And City Councilman John Laesch, a former school board member and Navy veteran, a union carpenter who failed in his 2021 effort to unseat Irvin in Aurora and lost in 2 attempts for a seat in Congress. He's considered the progressive. The biggest issue facing Aurora today is?
I would say ethics and rising property taxes.
Laesch says voters should be concerned about the recurrence of private companies funding Mayor Irvin's campaigns, then later securing public dollars for projects and investments around the city.
The mayor is involved in numerous pay-to-play schemes that result in lucrative development deals where a developer donates heavily to the mayor's campaign, gets a multi-million-dollar subsidy from the Aurora taxpayers.
You know, he says there's
those numbers are inaccurate.
He says there's pay-to-play going on. He says there's all this, you know, this violation of ethics going on. That's absolutely.
Those numbers are inaccurate.
Those absolutely inappropriate. They like the fact they've created a relationship with the city of Aurora. They like the fact they created a relationship with the mayor, and of course they want to see that person that brought them to town stay in office. You know, and it's their constitutional right to donate to any political campaign that they want to.
Voters should think what?
They shouldn't think anything. They should think that this gentleman is making up a whole lot of things just to give him something to run on.
Last time Irvin ran, he won.
Just like you.
Then 8 months later, ran for governor. Are you promising to stay in this position for the next 4 years?
And I love Aurora. I've been here my whole life, born and raised here. You know, and my priority and goal is to be the mayor for the next 4 years in the city of Aurora.
That's not a yes.
My goal is to be the mayor of Aurora. And
but you're committing to stay in this job for 4 years,
you know,
yes or no?
I'm committing to Aurora, which I've always committed to Aurora.
The light is shining a little brighter.
Having served the city as mayor and before that councilman, along with degrees in business and law, Irvin says gives him a leg up over his opponent.
You know what, that is running to be the mayor of the second largest city. This is a very important job, and we don't just want to let anybody, you know, pretend as though they can do it. We need people that have experience.
But he's also tripled the debt, and that borrowing is the headache gone on a drinking binge, and the next mayor is going to have the hangover.
And you hope that person is you?
Well, I don't want the hangover, but I do want the job. We have to put our city on stable financial footing.
Irvin says the city is on the most stable financial footing in a generation, which led to an endorsement by the Chicago Tribune. He cites improving test scores in schools and crime stats moving in the right direction as hallmarks of his first 8 years.
So I tell people to look at what is in front of them. Look at what you see when you walk in our downtown or you drive throughout our city and see all this development and all the cranes in the air which show success. Look at that and see the change from 2017 to now.
For his part, Laesch wants a greener Aurora, debt consolidation, and infrastructure improvements, from replacing lead pipes to adding curbs and sidewalks where they don't exist.
And I think that ethical government and the chance to inspire a government and economy that works for everybody has led towards new people voting, and that's what I'm hoping people do on April 1st.
Irvin and Laesch were the top 2 vote getters in the last round of voting out here. Early voting for the general election has already begun. In Aurora, Chris Dye, CBS News, Chicago.